I know.
Be body blocking me.
Sorry,
Alright,
Colin.
Toxic.
I got 2 of 3.
Alright, Toxic.
I think we have a full lobby and we're not in game yet.
You're stuck.
Look over me.
He threatened you and even do it.
No, not
Oh.
while you're holding.
Linking it back to the whole channel. Yeah,
What?
this is like a hybrid of
Chris, look at my
Minecraft.
screen. Chris, look at my screen. Look at my screen.
Still staying offline now.
What?
There's dating ads in this game.
There's dating? What? Oh my gosh. This game has dating of all things?
We're all dying.
Stay alive for as long as possible.
Too late.
Oh.
Oh,
Dang it!
You were so close.
What? You were one step farther than we needed.
Dickens, can you stop?
It's especially hard because this game is made for completionists.
So the game glitches occasionally when you're doing speedrun tactics.
Like
I
that.
can't see half my character. What is happening?
Like that. Like
that.
this.
I can't see my character. I can't control it.
Meowdy Chatty McChatters. I hope y'all are doing well. Why are things being slow? What, boys? Huh? Huh. Confusions. Okay. Alright, bring up the model. It's your girl, Eye the Fox. Your wonderful Arctic Fox spirit. Back at you with some more fun. Some more chaotic fun. Whee! So, while I wait, I need to double check something. Before I pop back over, I need to check something over on my test world. Hey, Fox. Why has my chat not updated properly? Okay. So over here we have the system. I need to figure out why this thruster is not working properly. Okay. I'm on my other yeah, right now I'm checking to see if it's all working. I was able to get in just fine. Right now, I need to do something here. Where I need to figure out how to get this to work. Okay. So we have a ship here. Built off of this. Spin-off bearing. Now, while we're here, we then need just the right side up. Okay. Hold on. Dadgummit. Alright. I think I need to give myself a... ship helm again. Because I need this to stand upright. For this to work. If I recall, this has a fluid item and energy. So far, it's working fine. I see no issues. Give me a few seconds to finish finding out. I need to finish double checking some stuff. Yeah, okay. It seems to be working fine. It's let me into one of my older worlds. Now let's see. Single player. Test. Alright. I'm in the world called Test. So let's open this to LAN. Start LAN world. Control V. Enter. There you go. Okay. So here's what I'm gonna do. Linear. Okay. Ship's name is Linear Lake, huh? We can rename. Well, the trailer's name is Linear Lake, rather. We can rename it. I am redoing the trailer because we accidentally swapped it to regular iron, which made it very heavy. It would not be able to float if I don't do this. I don't know which of us did it, you or me, or both. And I'm sorry. Okay. All right. So this right here needs to be put into a transmitter. Problem is, I'm pretty sure, but if I want this to work the way I want it to, no, I know. There were actual iron blocks in it instead of copycat blocks. Is what I meant. One of us swapped some of the copycat blocks out for regular iron. I need to figure this out. So I could shift the wheels. Oh, do me a favor. Put a lever on the back of that behind the spin-off bearing on that on this iron block. That one in front of you, in front of me, on the ship, on the trailer. This one here, right at the axis point. On the inside, right here, where it meets the walkway. I am redoing all the stuff, but I need you to flick the lever on, then back off. For that very reason. Now, put a ship helm down so it rights itself. Thank you. Why is it not fully righted? Give me a sec. There. Fixed. Okay. So I'm gonna put the wheels in one because I have a plan. Which does also mean I need to move the glue connected to them. Okay. Okay. So this can be removed. Now that we have this in like that, I need find a way to have these rotate inward properly. Okay. I wonder. Wait, I know. If I put... No. That won't work. How do I do this? Okay. Because if I have a mechanical bearing here, I can have it... Oh. Should I make a new world without them before we get too busy? Abby? Okay. Yeah. Alright. Go ahead and leave the game. We'll make a new world without the things. Alright, give me a sec. Alright. Create new world. Allow. Bonus chest on. Experiments, yes. We'll add the bundles. Game rules. Tape inventory. 33% of us. That. Alright, that's good. Yeah, I had it on amplified instead of large. Let's go with large biomes, so biomes are bigger or more expansive, but not giant, like not scale, like height-wise. They're width-wise. Anyways, howdy, Adra. How do you do? Alright. It just means that there's going to be more space to work with in this one. On this world. Yeah. I like the idea of the massive mountains and stuff that exist with Amplified, but they can be a little bit too extreme sometimes. Um, uh, okay. Hey, on the bright side, we have clay. Okay. You give me a sec. I think there's land over that way. Open to land, allow cheat, start. Yeah. There's a little bit of land over here, Fox Knight. Yeah, I know, Adra. The only downside is that there's a bonus chest that they're not going to have unless I cheat in a new one. Or they loot it before we change where we're at. Fox Knight, you should TP to me after looting the bonus chest. Okay. We need a air compressor, a coal burner, a duct, a gas engine, a decent sized tank. That will need a duct in between it. And in between there. Then we'll need we'll need a bunch of these universal shafts and some of these compressible shafts, because the first thing we need to do is this. That needs to be powered. Problem is, to do the powering of that, we're going to need to put I need to somehow provide rotational force to this block. That's the spawn. This way, Abby. The way I just came from. There's an island over there. I'm gonna go ahead and loot as well, and then we can meet up back at the island. Over this way. So we're in large biomes instead of amplified, which means they will be flat if they are flat. They will just be more expansive. Like, yeah, good thing. Anyways, Abby, if you come here real quick, I want to show you something. All right. So, what I am currently trying to build is our power supply for our vehicle or vehicles. This shaft, or probably going to be a gearbox, will flow into a compressor, which will flow into a couple ducts, which will then flow into a gas tank, like so. From that gas tank, we'll have a coal burner, which actually just takes any burnable fuel. That'll go into a gas engine, which will then feed into a steam engine from the base mod, which then goes onto a regular shaft, off of this will be this. We'll probably actually hook this into gearboxes directly instead of into a shaft directly. From this shaft, from this universal shaft, we'll have this go into here, so it'll continuously power itself. Its own air compressor. The only input we'll have to do is the fuel here to heat this up, so it'll be heated air. We can have this tank be smaller, and we can have this be fairly compact, especially if we only ever use universal shafts and gearboxes. Because a gearbox is as such. We will have 3 additional sides to work with off of one gearbox. And if we have 2 of these things here, that gives us 6 sides to work with. I will bonk the Abbey. So that gives us 6 of these shafts, universal shafts to work with. Like so. Also, I will bonk the Abbey for what you said in response. To what you said when I said I was gonna loot the bonus chest. And this acting like you intentionally misheard what I said. So here's the thing. I need this to go here so that I can do this and this. And then I can preemptively start like so. I need to then grab temporarily a creative motor. And voila! It is now... That's right. It's not powering itself yet. Why is it? Okay. I need... Let's put the aeronaut goggles on. Okay. Yeah. We need a good spot to set up. For sure. Now... I had a lag spike a couple seconds ago. Do you not... Does it have to go... What? What's happening here? What is happening? There we go. Now it'll keep itself powered. Fox Knight. Come here. There's a bunch of drowned underneath that part of the island by the sounds of it. But come over here to the other side of the island. Okay, let's grab the survival stuff real quick. The stuff I got from survival needs to be kept. This is our power supply for vehicles. Compressed air. And this is modular. So I can take this thing here, take this gearbox, and shaft this one in. Now we're making twice as much compressed air as we go. Which means this thing will continue to power itself for an extended period of time. These extra little prongs coming off of it are so that we can use these compressible shafts to attach it into power somewhere else. So for example, let's say we had something over here we wanted to power that was coming off of this. I could take this compressible shaft and also they go through walls. So now this is powering that system over there, and then whatever else other system we have over here. Now, let's say we take a transmission, an energy transmitter off of this, and I place the same energy transmitter over here. Same network number is now powered from here. This would be the engine of whatever, this black box right here behind you would be the engine of whatever vehicle I've created. And if I recall, so then I can take a clutch off of that, like so. Take a lever or any other redstone signal, and now it's off. So the idea here would be that a switch that a redstone signal would be the key for our car. For our vehicle. We would need a separate signal, transmitter signal, set to a different signal to rotate our sequenced gear shifts. These sequenced gear shifts would then be set up to rotate whatever thing I'm putting on, just rotate our mechanical bearing hooked to our oleo wheels. So then I would need... Do you have a button on you by chance? Thank you. You would then press this button. It would turn it. And then turn it back. And I would have this little setup here on each of these wheels. And technically speaking, if I really wanted to get fancy with it, I could take this onto the other side, invert the signal, put the other mechanical bearing with the other oleo wheel off of it. Like so. Now, oh, wait. Now they both fold up. I would probably want them to be inverted. And also, when this is a ship, these are lower to the ground. But the idea would be that this is the wheelbase of our vehicle. And I would use this setup here. And then whatever, and then further back there would be another one of these for the back wheels. Wonder. Do I have access to the Wonderlight wand? Whoops. No. Okay. Select an area. Place it in the... Yeah, okay. So I do have access to that. Okay. So it basically would be, I would come over here, take a clutch, take that clutch, I would put this clutch inside the vehicle. But yeah, we're waiting on Abby to find the place. We'll probably do this one as... Oh. Well, in that case, go ahead and TP Fox to you. I'm gonna... Go ahead and pick up our setup. Alright. I mean, it makes sense to put it near a village. We are technically a diner. So, Abby, I want to show you something. Once we set up our gas engine again, this is the setup. This is the wheel base. Also, Abby. Oh, fudge, I didn't save him fast enough. This is the wheelbase. I know. This is the wheelbase of the vehicle. For it to work the way I want it to. Ah! And I still need to figure out how to get the thruster to work properly. Too. If we're going to use oleo wheels. Yeah, they need the same setup. They need the air compressor and steam. I already checked it. Well, not steam, but air compressor and heated. I will bonk you. Alright, where am I gonna... Okay, this looks like a good spot to put a small engine area. We'll do a coal burner. Uh-oh. I'm too far away to save him. I TP'd him to me on top of a tree. Hi. How you doing? Here, let me TP you again. Alright. Welcome. This is where I'm gonna build the vehicle real quick. Actually, no, this is where I'm building the gas system for the vehicle. Unless, Abby, you think I should put the gas system for the vehicle in the basement. Or something. Well, it's gonna be remotely connected to the vehicle. So the question is, where do I put it? Because it doesn't have to be quite that big. It just has to be big enough to take a vertical gearbox with a compressor on top of it, a universal shaft on that, another universal shaft here with a compressible shaft between the two, a duct off of the compressor going directly into a 1-block gas tank. Up. Leaving the 1-block gas tank directly into a coal burner. Leaving the coal burner directly into the gas engine. And then off of that, we need the steam engine and the shaft feeding into another technically this one doesn't even need this additional universal shaft. At least not for power purposes. This is the most compact I've made it. Then we have 1, 2 extra things. Right now I need to temporarily disconnect this so that I can put a creative motor here. So that it starts spinning up the yeah. And now that that's spinning, I can remove this and rehook this, and now it's running itself in an extra compact system. Abby, come here. Up on this tree. This is the most compact I've been able to get this. Well, think about this. This entire system powers would power every create thing in the base. Though it would probably need a couple more of these compressors. And, technically speaking, I can hide. Oh, no, I can't. At least not completely. I can make it look like it has a chimney. It's part of a chimney. Also, it's only it's only 2 players tall. That's as tall as we typically make our rooms. It would fit in one of our rooms perfectly. And we could market it, we could say it's the power source for the entire restaurant. It would be in the basement. Or in an outbuilding. I wonder, can I get... I can get one more bit of power from one more point of contact with the power from the map. I gave you something, Fox Knight. Plus, if need be, I can always put the compressor somewhere else and then pipe the air in. Clock in time. Bam. I can always put the compressor somewhere where it won't make noise. Or rather, where we won't hear it making noise. Pipe the air from the compressor in. Is that supposed to be the kitchen area? I'm above you. I'm looking down at it from the tree. That's right next to it. Are we gonna have a security office too? Let's see what looks to be our bedrooms. Oh, this one back here. The security slash spawn. No, wait, staff there, security there. Slash world spawn. Here for now. Alright, Fox Knight, it's technically safe for you. That's bathroom, okay. Main area, and a little cafeteria area, and stage. Are we gonna do a little a backstage area? Have it slightly elevated? Maybe. Staff can be backstage? Okay. Thinking. What if we make security or staff, whichever one this was, only accessible from the other one? Unless you climb up onto the stage. I'm gonna have the stage alright, so this is security. Cool. Okay. So this is staff. Okay. Trying to think about the logistics. How big of a stage are we gonna have? Because if this is where the door for security is gonna be, right here, probably a double door. That only leaves 2 blocks for stage. You know what's funny is right now you've made an area that's big enough for me to build the, technically speaking, this is big enough for me to build the truck in. If I were to quickly do it. Or at least the frame of the truck. Because this is the drive shaft. And then yeah. Over here we need this to then hook into a universal. Just for now, I want to make this make sense. Alright, that's the drive shaft. Okay. So a clutch goes off of the drive shaft. Alright. The clutch gets powered off. Also, what if I do? Nope. Okay. So from there, we then need. What if I had done? Okay. What if I do this? I need a gearbox here for the sake of the sequenced gear shifts. Then from there, I need the mechanical bearings. Okay, from there, I then need this to go down this way to wherever the end of this is going to be, which I think will be here, like so. Then off of this, we'll put the bearings here and here. And then, just so it doesn't mess up, we'll do this. Cool thing is I can do this. Fill this entire space in. Leaving us with a 3-space area. Actually, a 4-space area, a 5-space area in the inside. Buttons. I need to check something. If I put an oleo wheel on this, which direction does it turn? Okay. I think that goes the wrong way. I need this to go that way and that way. Yeah. This one needs to go. Because once I've done this, those will drop down. Once I've done this last part, those will drop down. This is at least the frame of it. Now I need that Wanderlight wand. Well, Wander wand, rather. So that I can include that stuff. It's not built yet, so it's safe. I was just building the frame. Anyways. I need the physics infuser. Where is it? Because now I can take the physics infuser, do that, then I need the grav a tron. The base frame of the car will be finished. In a sec. Ta-da! Theoretically, if I take these buttons and do this, it'll do exactly what I wanted it to do, which is fold in on itself. Right, I have to reconnect the compressible shaft for that to work. Also, I just remembered a compressible shaft actually needs to be on the other side of A. Hold off on building the roof real quick, though, because I'm gonna go ahead and take this out now. Whee! I just needed a spot that was clear to work on it for a second. But now you can see what I was working on. I have to decide how I'm going to actually work on this. Alright, so we need this to go from here to there. And I need the compressible shaft from there to there. And this is the engine. So I actually didn't even see them this time. Thank you, Fox Knight. Okay, now why is it that when I moved... Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Now, I actually think I want to put this... I want to revert this back real quick, because I want to do a thing. That makes sense sound-wise. I want to add a vertical gearbox here. With a compressor on it. This then will be where our fuel... This will be then where... our thruster should get powered from. Because I should be able to then take a thruster off of this. Like so. And then take a duct. Work system. Is there a way to get this to work faster? Is the question. How many of these would I need for this to work in the way I want it to? Because it's definitely working. The problem is It's not fast enough. Because the vehicle definitely moves. Like this. I also feel like I would need a way to disconnect this. So I'd almost need this compressor to be on a clutch itself. That way I can turn the compressor off when I am not wanting the engine to move. I wish we had the inverted clutches, though. But yeah, no. So theoretically, now how do I explain this thing's existence? Or do I put this in the front? Do I put this compressor in the front and use hose connectors? To connect the thrusters to it. So it actually looks like it's part of the engine. Also, Abby, in regards to your kitchen, I would like you to swap a section of it out, of a floor of it out, for cooking and for Blockhead's tile. So that the cooking for Blockhead's kitchen will work. Let's see, how many pieces of furniture does cooking for Blockheads have? Where even did... Okay, I'm looking for... There it is. Let's see. We need a cooking table, a fridge, a sink, and at least 1 or 2 counters. That's fine. Might swap one of the counters out for a oven, but that should work. And just the question is, how do I get this to match as closely as possible? Oh, hey, Abby, come here. Tell me something. Can you tell that that's there? But there's a difference there. Does it just look like it's... Does it look like it might just be a mess? Like it was messier? Or like the tile, like the rest of the kitchen is just messier than the actual cook area? Perchance. I didn't know. Yeah, hold on. Let me think. What if I swap this out for a gray? Not quite. What about this gray? Because that was regular kitchen floor. That looks better. That looks closer. Okay. So we'll use a black oven here. We'll use a fridge over here. A sink here. A cooking table here. A cow in a jar has to go on a counter. So we'll use a kitchen counter corner here with a regular kitchen counter here for the cow in the jar to go there. So we have milk provided at all times. Then from there we can put that there. Tool rack there. Spice rack there. We will then make this actually be one. Oh. So here's that. So this is specifically for the sake of having how do I do this part? Because I need this stuff to be hanging. But then it doesn't have hanging kitchen counter corner. Okay, what if I go... So if I then go here, I can do that. And that. Okay. There's that. So that all looks connected. Okay. So we then need a fruit basket as well. Hmm. You made it 5 blocks tall this time? Okay, this is less noticeable. The swap I did is less noticeable. You agree? It's still noticeable, don't get me wrong. It's just not as noticeable. And you almost have to know what you're looking for. Okay. So if I take this and put this back over here, right here. Let's see what happens. Also, Only place near initial angle. Only place near initial angle. Only place near initial angle. And only place near initial angle. Once these fill up, how much of this is needed for it to actually shove? Okay. How many of these am I gonna need for this to really do its job? Huh. Right now, okay. I think what I'm gonna do is the engine bay will be up here. And I will be hooking the thrust up, like the compressors up into the engine bay. And I'm gonna make it look like it's a hood. These extra compressors for the propulsion. Also, I just remembered another little detail. If I take this and I take this, this should then put out heated air instead. Which should then cause this to push the vehicle further in one sitting. The other thing I thought about is we could still have a fueling system for this, where I take a bunch of and not have the compressors on it at all, except for aesthetic purposes. Because as it stands right now, I have this little situation here where I'm not making enough fuel. I'm not making enough air. What if instead we made a gas station, and in this case it's a literal gas station for the engine, for all the electronics over there, so that we don't have to like sleep next to it or over it. Also, here, take that and a light switch for each room. I was trying to provide you with light sources, but okay. Here. Here. Take this and place light switches in each room as well. The bulb I gave you is called a deluxe bulb. You place it either in the ceiling, you can make fixtures for it, or what have you. So right now, as it stands, the system that we have for this vehicle to give any amount of push is not sufficient enough. It doesn't send me far enough away. Like in one go. I'm still trying to decide how the vehicle's gonna actually look, too. Because right now I just have the basic structure for it. I'm also tempted to include a what if I do that? Now it's these two trying to go off at the same time. Okay. It's kind of working. These two go off at the same time now, which provides a little bit more power. The thing is, I want this to look kind of like it might be a submersible vehicle. Also, Chatty McChatters, I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you. Right. Yeah, so what I gave you were blocks for light, by the way. You place them in the ceiling. You then take a I'm trying to get this to work the way I want it to. How do I do this? I could always make these go out slightly further. And then add a... valve. This is the front of the vehicle. Right now, I do need to add. This is the skeleton of the vehicle right now, but I also need to add. In a bit, I'm still trying to figure out the vehicle. I'm tempted to do a thing where I make the coal burner look like it's part of the front of the engine, sticking out of the hood. Well, not the hood, but the front grill, where you can you can see the flames through the grill. Is the idea. And then from there, have it hook. Essentially wirelessly via the same method that the shaft works with a hose. To the ducts that they're currently hooked to. The compressor was then hooked to the other side of the burner. Also, I can turn it off in 2 different spots. I don't necessarily need. In fact, I would rather it only be turned off or be able to be turned off at the coal burner. And any additional things after that. That way I can still do this with the wheels. And then once I... Okay, so I still plan to add... I think this will be like a camper van style thing. What you doing? Oh, is this the next floor? Or something? Or is this the sign for the place? Hmm. Why will this work? You know, we could always make the letters out of lights too. Have them be permanently on. Oh well. Whoopsie. Hmm. Shouldn't that be up one higher? The A? Its arm, its middle arm? Nope, that won't work. Okay. It would have to be like a backlight type thing. Here. We'll do it across the bottom. Like so. Place the switch down for me for a sec. Somewhere. So that we can turn this all on. Once I wasn't done. They're not assigned yet. Alright. Place it down somewhere. Random. Doesn't even have to be on the thing. I was gonna put them on the top as well. We can also swap the lights out for the other lights if you would prefer. And I removed the switch already. We can place the switch somewhere else if you want it to be able to be turned on and off. Yeah. Thinking. We could have it be fancy. I think it has to go there too. Let's do it from the other side so they swing in. But now we have a fancy entrance door. Alright, where are we gonna... Do you want to build, like, a little, like, things hanging off the ceiling where we can put the bulbs? The fixtures for the lights. So let's say this is here. Surrounding it with stairs would then make it look a little fancier. But hanging off the ceiling. Or you can use copycat panels instead of stairs to make it look kind of fancier. Like various copycat blocks, like the layers, the panels, stuff like that. Might even be able to disguise them as the lights to some extent. I'm thinking about something. Can you come out here and place a light switch down for me? That I'm not gonna break this time because I wanna... Okay, I'm gonna assign this to that one for a second. I wanna test something. So we're out here. If I take this, can I place... It did not keep the NBT data. That is annoying. You have to assign them... Oh, these ones are different. Those are right-click only. The ones I was trying to... At least I think they are. Yeah. The light switches won't work for those ones. Which is why I was going to try to get you to use them to, I was trying to get you to make the light fixture. Alright. So how are we going to do this? I think the stage can be accessed from here with a little staircase from the inside. And it'll be elevated. And only be accessed from in there. It'll come out it'll go out to here and end before this door. So probably right about here. Maybe one earlier. We'll do like that. With the backstage door being parallel to this. I can then take that like that. I can take the back stage door. How big is this? Okay, there we go. No. What? There we go. I have to put this opening from this side. We will, if we're gonna do any of the stuff, any of the mechanism stuff in survival. And do we even have gun? Did I even add guns? Why is this so picky? Why does it have to be the exact? Not gonna lie, I almost included create big cannons. Bright, very bright day. Alright, that should be good enough. Abby, not the IRL time, and not your IRL time. In-game time. What do you think? Now the stage needs a light, so let's go stage. Why can't I rotate that right? Deluxe stage light. Was this the one that... What? How did I miss? We will need a decent amount of copper. What? How does this light work? Oh. Okay, well that's one thing. But why can't I turn it on? Can you tell where it's... Can't actually tell if it's aiming anywhere. Is the problem. Okay, so it is lighting up the thing. I think I need to include a light in here, hidden, like so that it can be lit up. That way, this actually has a bit of light. I guess apparently it doesn't matter where it's aiming, Abby. But here's the stage. What do you think? Alright. And the vehicle finally made it over here. Also, thank you, Fox Knight. For some reason, I'm not actually seeing the bots this time around. Clock in. Okay. So the plan is to make this look more like a truck. I might even include the rockets as part of like a truck bed. Hidden. Make it look like it's using nitrous to move. You know? Also, yes, Abby? Cool. If you look through the tabs, you'll find a tab explicitly for security things. It looks like a camera. It's called a surveillance package. Um. Yeah. Hi. Yeah. If you look. At the if you look at the creative tabs, you'll find a thing called surveillance package. It includes things like this and this, as well as this. You can configure it so that we can add cameras to every room, as if we were actually looking at Fnaf. No. I think I'm going to need a tweaked controller for this. But I do plan on swapping this out here. As I said. Why are you... Oh, because it stopped being heated. That makes sense. Okay. So this needs to become a slightly separate section. This will be like the cab of the vehicle. And up here... will be... the hood of the vehicle. Like so. Well, I may make this out a little bit wider. Because I think what I'm gonna do is include the entire thing in the design, including the wheels. And I need this to be enclosed. Alright. So from there we need that and that to be covered. Now on this side, we'll have something else be set up. Alright. This is where our cab will be. Is this... Okay, that's too light. with only one of the ballasts off. Okay. The vehicle starts flying. Okay. So, as I said before, I want to put the compressor sticking out. I want to put a series of compressors sticking out of here. Like so. Probably put a chain drive in case chain drive there. And then I want them to feed into the grill, which will be... You probably should, if we're going to do anything, create in survival. If these are to look like that, I need them to be like that. Alright. Alright. We need chain drive. This one there. These two here. Like so. So now these are doing that. We then need a duct for here. It goes between these. And then we need a screwdriver from the mod so we can do this. I believe... Actually, it doesn't matter. As long as they're connected. And I tell them that they're going out like this. They will then end up in here. I will be right back. Okay. I have returned. Testing 1, 2. Okay. So I want this to be set up like that. Then from here, let me see. Ten is from mechanism. It is used to make the resistive heater, a module base, a saturating condenser, a seismic vibrator, a jetpack, a flamethrower, a fluidic plenisher, and a canteen. So yes. I think my plan was actually to have these be higher up. Because I want them to look like they're sticking out of the thing. If they look like that, then we can do this with the duct going in top, like so, and then out the bottom like so, with a with a hose port and a hose spool attached there. So from that, we would then take it all the way back here. This is going to be like that. Oh. Rest in peace, Abby. Like so. Okay. Over here, I'll need whoops. Whoopsie, I made it neutrally buoyant here. Oh. There we go. Okay. So from there, we can do this thing where I put a spin-off bearing. Physicalities. Yeah, a spin-off bearing here. I then need this will then connect to whatever trailer. We'll need spin-off bearings on our trailers as well, so that whenever we I wonder. I could technically make the spin-off bearing move, but nah. Alright. So like I said, this area here that I'm currently working with is the engine bay. And these are supposed to be sticking out of the engine bay to look kind of fancy smancy. Now, I want to do this and this so I can put put a duct here and a duct here to put a thruster here and here. Yes, Abby? I then want a valve coming up off of the Why can I not? Give me a second, Abby. There we go. Okay. I'm currently trying to make this thing. So you'll have to put down another light switch. Yeah. You can then break it once you've flicked it on. Okay. Then I want a valve here. That I can then take a valve handle. Place it here and here. I then need to close the air flow. And then I need to do this and this for that spot. This Meow. Hi, cat. So from there to there. Whoa. Whoopsie. I thought that was off. Apparently that was on. I wish there was I knew of a way to make sure that this turned on at the same time. I mean, I do. It would just require them to be connected to the same thing. Yeah, I saw. Hey, Abby, come here. Do me a favor. Stand on the other side. Next to the other valve handle. Turn it once. This valve handle over here. Turn it once. Shift turn it. Alright. Turn it without shift. Thank you. Okay, so that works. The only problem sits that right now this is just a flat thing. There is no structure to this. And this is not... We do need a basement for the power supply. Because once we have that set up, I can move everything over into the basement. The basement has to be at least 4 blocks tall. I'm thinking, what if I do this? I go back to this being only one of these. Like I originally planned. But I take it into a valve first. Alright. Like so. That way, when I need to turn this off, it turns off on one end. technically speaking, if I'm gonna do it that way, I could do it that way for both of them. And then have them still only have the one. No, I can't because. No. Problem sets. I think I need this to be a duct with 2 of these off of it. Now that it's been converted into a valve. And that way this one can go there. But first, why can I not get this to work? I had it working when it was both. Uh, Okay. Assume. Oh, sorry, Keen. So this is kind of what I had in mind. Yep. This is more than sufficient. Because the compressor would go here with its rotational force on top of it, right under it, rather. Like so. And it has light. Cool. Yeah, so it would go like that. Or even just like put one of them here and then put a bunch of a line of encased chain drives along it. Um well, yeah, because right here, these things won't work if they're hitting a block in the same tile, even though they don't actively take that tile. No, they're fine right now. I'm just saying that the light isn't needed up there. Can't be up there. Because if the light were here, it would hit the light in the process. So I was saying that it was a good idea. I'm liking the idea. Now I just need to figure out, remind myself exactly how I went about this. Also, Fox Knight, double check, keep an eye on the time because it's starting to get dark. Okay, so I did 2 vertical gearboxes on top of each other, feeding directly. Okay, cool. And then from the compressor directly into a gas tank, into this. Yeah, I know. Do me a favor, Abby, and set up a display panel for the security module from the management wanted mod in the security room. Okay. So if I did this correctly, Simply doing that allots for that. Perfect. Okay. That is perfection. Power-wise. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and start replicating. So let's see. Let's do 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's do a few compressors. Up here like this. That way we guaranteed always have enough power. We can then go off of that into a duct. Into actually this will have to be broken apart because I can only have but that's where this comes in handy. I can then put this to here. Each side of this can have a we're shifting this over so I'm not blocking. Okie doke. There's that, and that. We can then take a coal burner here, here, and here with individual ducts. Yeah. Feeding into one of these here and here. So they can then take that into, oh, I forgot the engine block. Here. We'll do. How big of an engine can I make, anyways? I think. Yeah. There can only be one tile each. So it would have to be that. Like so. With its hose ports. Or a shaft there. Into another gearbox. There and there. With a spool from there to there to there. We'll need a universal shaft from there to there. We'll also need, for now, a hand crank. I'm worried that I just did. Alright. No longer need the hand crank, because now it's powering itself. And then from here we can add a shaft that feeds into a transmission, an energy transmitter. Can you do me a favor before I hook this energy transmitter up? Go break the previous version of this. Upstairs. I mean, right now it's all just decoration. There's actual functional blocks in the security camera icon. But yeah, can you go break? I need you to go break the the smaller version of our power on the tree behind the building. It's probably almost directly above me. Thank you. Because now I'm powering it from in here. Now, any other power we need can come from out. Oh. Okay. Whee. Anyways, I need help finishing the structure of this vehicle. Because right now all we have is a frame with the engine compartment. Ah, right. Okay. Laters. Right now, this thing is neutrally buoyant with both of its ballasts on. Or not, because it is sinking slightly. What is going on? I did. Have it set up in a way that it was neutrally buoyant before. Why is it not? Excuse me. I was most definitely on the vehicle just now. This is annoying. Hey, Fox Knight. Lay boop. Hmm. What is happening? They're exactly the same weight. Why are you... You're exactly the same weight. Why are you being weird? All the way around, you're exactly the same weight. So why? Oh! Okay, this is getting kind of unfortunate. Hmm. Alright, chat. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Thank you for joining me. As always,